Hey everyone, my name is Andrew Hess, and today I want to go through 4 different ways to search our multi-select people picker from SharePoint. Let's get into this. All right, so this is what I got. I thought this would be a quick, short, great video. We can kind of just knock it out. Thanks for the video right here by Derek Sal. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Derek Sal. It's useful, not easy to find, similar idea on YouTube. I'm struggling with a question for a long time. How can I design a search button in Power Apps Gallery to search the backend SharePoint list? And that is a person type, a multi-select column. So that adds a good bit more complexity. So let's go to one of these Power Apps that I already have. And we see I have an owner field. Let's make an owner to field. Let's make it so we have 2 owners in here. Okay, so you can see right over here, let me see if I can zoom in. Right here in the owner column, I now have a multi-select. I just put 2 people in each of those fields. So we now have 2 people in our people picker selector. Now, just to make this super simple for me, for my specific software, I'm gonna say last because I know there's only 2 of them. So I'm just gonna say last. So now we have owner 1 and owner 2. That's just to set up my gallery. Maybe that's not how you do it, but that's how I'm going to do it here. So now what we want to do is we want to be able to search on the people picker, which is the owner field or the owner field here. And you can see right here, we're using display name and here's the image. So now we want to be able to search for either one of those. That's the goal. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a gallery here, maybe a vertical gallery or a container. Let's add a container for it. Let's push it up, and then we're going to make it smaller, or actually we're going to make this one much bigger. So this will be a 10, and maybe the minimum height will be 80, or we'll drop it down to 50. And then in here, we're going to have a text input, and this is modern. So there is a difference between modern and not modern, so you got to pay attention. You might have to do value, or you might have to do .text. So we have a modern one here. Let's center this text. So align center, okay. And maybe make it a little bit bigger. Let's make it a little bit bigger, the font. The font size is 40, okay. And let's just see, this is not becoming responsive. That's something, that's not for this video, okay? I understand it's not perfectly responsive. That's not the goal of this video. The goal is to be able to search on this field. So first, let's try simple. First, let's try being super simple. Let's just try to filter. All right, so our items property is my SharePoint list name. So issues and risks, right here, issues and risks. This is the name of my SharePoint list. This is what the items property is right now. All right, so let's start off simple. So first, what I'm gonna do, that's kind of funny. First, I'm gonna say filter my issues and risk when it's not blank. I want to make sure it's not blank. Is blank. And we may add trim in here too. It's not blank when the first in of owner, let me think if I have my parentheses right. Yeah, owner 1 dot display name and text input canvas 1 dot value in, and think of in as like contains in first owner dot display name. There we go. So we're only looking at the first column right now, although it's a multi-select, so only in the first column. So we can look at, so let's try one like Daffy Duck. And if I click, you can see it filters on owner on Daffy Duck. If I search for Andrew, then filters the owner. Okay. That looks good. We could do the same thing for the second column, right? So we could change all this to last. So let me copy this one, or we'll comment this one out. Let's try another one. First, let's say last. First in 2 on the last owner. Okay, I think that's right already. So on the first in, the second one, on the last owner, so let's try, so we can see Andrew's populated here. Let's try another one. And I have to click off every time. That's the way the text box is set up. So don't forget that the trigger output here, you see that right above me? So right here, the trigger output, instead of focus out, let's just say key press as I type in a key. So D, Dr. Evil, or we're over here, Daffy Duck, Andrew Hess, Dr. Evil. Let's try Mulan. So you can see Mulan is showing up. Let's see, Jean Grey. Jean Grey has 2. Oh yeah, there's the 2 Jean Grey. So there is a few hidden down there below. So let's just make sure for SpongeBob, there should only be 1. So I only see 1. So let's try Sponge. There's only 1 row, so that's working. All right, so we did the first row, we did the second row. The next question is, how do we do all rows? That's the next question. Let's say there's 5 rows. How do we do all the rows? All right, so let me write in the comments here. So this is for search only first row, right? And then this one is search only second row. And that's only because there's only 2 rows because we're using last. Now, let's do a search all rows. So how to search all the rows. This is where we're going to do a lookup instead of kind of doing a filter exactly. We're going to use a lookup. So we're going to do filter, issues and risks, right? So still the same list. And we're going to check for is blank. Always check for is blank. You don't want them to be empty. On a people picker, it kind of throws things off. And we are going to look up the owner this time. Look up the owner column. That's because there could be multiple in there. The owner column. And we're going to look up the text input canvas1.value because we're using modern. And inside there, we're going to look for display name. Now, anytime... Let me see if I got my parentheses right. Am I missing 1 parentheses? Maybe I'm missing 2 parentheses, actually. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. There we go. All right, so anytime you see the word in, for me, my brain goes, in means contains. So think of it this way. Whenever display name is inside, or whenever display name contains the value that's in our text box, that's the way I think of it. I usually don't think of in. I think of the word contains. Whenever display name contains our text input canvas 1. We have our data. Let's look at 1. So let's see. Jean Grey. There should be 2, 3, 4. There should be 4 for Jean Grey. Let's try. Jean. Give it a second to load. It does take a little bit. Maybe this is where you add a spinner. But there are 4 rows with Jean Grey. That's correct. Let's try another one. Let's try, let's see, I only see Mulan on the right side. So there should only be Mulan on owner 2. So Mulan, there it is. Mulan, owner 2, it did populate. So this does look to be working correctly. So we can try Dr. Evil. He's on 1, on the owner 1 and owner 2. Dr. Evil is working. Now, one more thing that you may want to do to make this even better is, so let's try this. Let's see if I type in Dr. Evil and put a space in there. You see how it becomes blank? That one space breaks our search. This will drive your users crazy. So what you do to fix that is you put in a trim. Put in a trim around your text value. So therefore, it trims the blank space off. So if you have blank spaces, it then trims that off and the search works. So that's one tip that maybe you want to think about is add a trim in there. That's really good. This seems to be working fairly well as it is right now. The pictures do take a few seconds to load. You may want to put in a little spinner to give it a second, give it a delay before it loads, especially if you have a lot of data, right? Maybe you want to put in a spinner. But that's another video. If you want to learn how to do a spinner, leave a comment. We'll do a video on a spinner. Today, we're focusing on filtering a multi-select people picker column. Now, the thing is, there is a delegation issue. So my opinion is actually to use Power Automate. To beat delegation in search, use Power Automate. So I'm going to insert an icon here. This is how I think this is the best way to stay out of premium and use SharePoint. So we are going to add a Power Automate flow. Create from blank. And we are going to search. The title of the flow will be Search MultiSelect. Okay, we're going to search MultiSelect. I want a field to come in from Power Apps, so I do need to add an input. So the input, we can give it a name, maybe search text. How about that? Search input, search. Let's do search input just to make it a little different. So this is the field that we're going to pull from Power Apps. It's called search input. Now we're going to do an HTTP call. So SharePoint, look at this, generate document using Microsoft syntax. Cool. Preview. All right. Anyways, off topic. Now, what we want to do is we want to do a call. The site address, you got to get the site address. For me, it's called task list. So that's our site. We are going to get, now we're going to build out this URI. And to do that, you can see the example right here, API, underscore API, web, list, get by title, etc. So we're going to do that exactly. All right, so I'm going to use get by title. I'm going to use get by title here. And if we look at my list, you can see my title has some spaces in there and an ampersand. So this makes it a little more complex. But my title is going to be, let's see, do I need single quotes? I think I do. Issues, %20, ampersand, %20, risks, single quote here, and slash items. I believe that's right. So what you can do is you can test that. So I'm getting back data, have my headers. Let's give it a save, and then let's give it a test. We're not doing anything to query. We're not saying filter yet. We're just saying, hey, pass that, and then show me everything and expand. So we're going to, in our on select of our icon, we're going to say search, MultiSelect run, and the text field is our text canvas 1 dot value. Let me see, text canvas, text input, canvas 1 dot value. Okay, we'll press play. Let's type in Andrew, and then let's give it a test. Let's run it one time. Let's see what Power Automate says. All right, it was successful. Let's take a look in here. Let's take a look. Show raw outputs. If we scroll down to the body, you can see we have body here. And then what we really want to look at is owner. So I'm going to Control F, owner. Well, we see owner ID, owner string, owner ID, owner string. Is that what I care about? It's not showing me everything I want to see. So let's go back to Power Automate. All right, so this time I'm trying again. Items, select all. So you can see I'm saying select all. That's where the star is. Grab the owner title and expand owner. Let's give it another test. All right, so we're testing. We're letting it spin. It's doing its thing. It looks successful. It kind of went a little fast. But all right, it went pretty fast. Let's take a look at the outputs. Let's find the owner field. And there it is. Check that out. So we've expanded owner. So when I search on owner, we get owner ID, string ID, and then we have the owner field with title Jean Grey, title Fa Mulan. So now we're going to search on that name. So I'm going to do filter array. The array is the body, or maybe we need to parse that. Okay, so now that we have that HTTP request, it did work correctly. Let's take a look at it again. I want the output, so I'm going to take the output. Don't know if I can copy all of this. It might be too much. I'm going to copy it, press Control C. I'm going to go back to edit, and this time I'm going to parse it. So now I'm going to parse parse JSON right here. And we have a schema. I'm going to paste it in. All right, we have the schema. The content is from the body. So we're going to parse the body. All right, so this is just going to work for my specific use case. Let's give it another try right here. Let's give it another automatic try. And check this out. What I want to do is I want to filter my owner field based on if the search text is in there. So I'm going to go body, value, owner, title. So I'm not going to go for title because I want to check either one of those owners. So I'm just going to grab owner. I'm going to grab the entire array of owner. If Andrew or Dr. Evil exists in this array, then it will bring it into the filter query. So how I'm going to do that? And this may change. Like, it's really hard to do this for your exact project, but maybe this will help. So we're going to do filter array. And from the array filter, what I want to do is I want the parse JSON. I want the value. Oh, here we go. The body, the value. Let's see if that's right. The body, parse JSON, the body, the value. That looks correct. That's what I want, because if you remember, it was value first. And what I want to do is I want to grab the string. I want to turn my array, the string of it, I want to turn my array into a string. That way it can search the whole thing. And I'm going to say the item of owner. So I'm going to turn my array into a string so it can understand it. And inside that string, I'm going to search for my search input. So inside there, and let's give it a try. And give it a save. And once we get that working, then we'll push it to Power Apps. All right, so we're in Power Apps. Let's search for Batman. So it's in three different ones, owner 2, owner 1, owner 2. Let's hit search. It's going to run to Power Automate. Let's go check out Power Automate. Check it running, and it failed. My guess is this extra body in there? What I'm going to do is I'm going to write this. Let me try writing this. I'm going to say the body. I want to grab the body of parse JSON. And I want to grab the value. So question mark, just in case there's any nulls. Value. Let's give it a save. Inputs is of type null. The value must be an array. Okay. Let's give it another try. So let's run it again. Searching for Batman. Go back to Power Automate. It was successful. 6 seconds ago, it was successful. Now let's check our filter array. If we go to show raw outputs, it was blank. Why is it blank? Is that correct? Why did my filter array not work? Well, maybe I want to say contain. Oh, contains. So this has to be contains because we're converting the entire owner field to a string. And we're looking at that entire array, right? So there's an entire array. And inside there's all kinds of single quotes, squiggly lines, all kinds of things. So if Batman is contained in there, then it should work. So that was my problem, is it contains. So let's give it another test. Test, automatic. It was successful, but we found nothing. Let's try again. This time we should find 3. Let's see if we're right. Okay. It's working. Show raw outputs. Here's one owner contains Batman. 2 contains Batman in the first one. And 3 contains Batman in the second. And that's it. So 3. So this filter array was correct. This is exactly what we wanted. All right. So now let's return it to Power Apps. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to respond to Power Apps. So respond to Power Apps. And I'm going to add an output, and it is text, and it is my JSON filter. And the value is a JSON, a string of my body, or we could probably click on this one. So let's see, this is the, can I click? Where's my, oh, down here, dynamic, the body of filter array. Okay, so now we're responding to Power Apps with a JSON of our filter array. That looks good. Now let's go back to Power Apps. Back to Power Apps. In here, we're running our flow, but we want to grab the JSON that comes back. So I'm going to say ClearCollect. I create a collection, a clear collection filter. And we're going to say for all, I'm going to create a table, parse the JSON that we passed out of Power Automate. I'm just kind of running through this. And then this is the Power Automate that we ran. The JSON filter, that is the field that we outputted. So we create, remember we responded from Power Apps. So in here, it's JSON filter. That's the name that we gave it. So it's .json filter. Then I'm walking through each of the fields. Let's see if we can kind of make that look good. So I grabbed the ID. The ID is always a number, so I said value. I grabbed the title, the project name, the value, the owner, value.owner, impact, value.impact, value.probability. Okay, so for the gallery, if you remember, we searched only the first row, we searched only the second row, we searched all rows, and these are just with, these all have delegation. So now I'm going to pass it that collection filter. That's from pressing the Power Automate button. So let's see here. We have some issues with owner. Let's see. That's because this got changed to title. And this is title. And we don't really have the images right now. That's even more to this video. But right now we have the owners. Let's search for Andrew. So it's going to run Power Automate, running Power Automate. It's returning the owner names, no images this time. My owner title here, we could do something like Rocket. And each time it's going to Power Automate, doing an HTTP request and returning. So if we check it out, check out Power Automate, we can see here 8 seconds ago. That's this one. It's running through Power Apps. We're giving it that field, our search query. We're doing a request. We're parsing it. We're parsing our JSON. We're then filtering it. And then we're responding to our flow. And the response is here, our JSON filter. So if you kind of look in here, you can kind of see in the filter array, this is exactly what we're responding with. So owner, notice I'm only passing title. If we wanted to grab claims or something, we could do that probably. But I'm only grabbing title. I'm grabbing title here. I'm grabbing project name. I'm also grabbing impact and probability. And sure, we could pull the other fields too. We could pull score or risk details, any of the other fields we wanted to. And so now that's how I would use Power Automate if your list is going to grow above 2,000. So this was a very complex Power Automate and a very complex Power App. It was a complex question. Let's try if we search for blank. Will that break it? It did not break it. So actually searching for blank actually allowed us to query it. Those are kind of the basics and how I would go about searching on a MultiSelect. I gave you 4 different options, right? So this is search, no delegation. That's the hardest way to do it. There's a lot more complexity here. If you want to just search all rows with some delegation, you can do this one. Search only the second row, search only the first row. Thank you all for watching. Please feel free to go ahead and ask more questions. My name is Andrew. I'll see you next week.